Hello my friends. Lesson 3. Jeff Bezos is one of the most influential entrepreneurs of the modern era. He created Amazon, a company that changed how people shop, read, and use technology. His life story contains lessons about curiosity, hard work, risk, and long-term thinking. Jeffrey Preston Bezos was born on January 12, 1964, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. His mother, Jacqueline, was 17 when she gave birth to him. His biological father, Ted Jorgensen, left the family early in Jeff's life. When Jeff was about 4 years old, his mother married Miguel Mark Bezos, a Cuban immigrant who later adopted Jeff and gave him the surname Bezos. The family lived in several places, including Houston, Texas, and Miami, Florida. From a very young age, Jeff showed curiosity and a desire to understand how things worked. He often took apart toys and small machines to learn their parts. He spent many summers on his grandfather's ranch in Texas, where he learned practical skills, fixing engines, using tools, and tending to machines. These early experiences built a practical and steady mindset. Jeff's grandfather, Lawrence Guise, worked for the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission and encouraged his grandson's interest in science and engineering. The ranch and the books he read helped him imagine a future where technology could solve many problems. Jeff excelled in school and showed particular interest in mathematics and science. In high school he created a summer math camp and tutored other students. In 1982 he entered Princeton University. There he studied electrical engineering and computer science. Jeff graduated in 1986 with excellent grades. At Princeton he learned programming, problem-solving, and systems thinking, skills that later helped him design parts of Amazon. After graduating, Jeff moved to New York and started a career in finance and technology. He worked at several firms, including Fidel and Bankers Trust, before joining a small but growing hedge fund named D.E. Shaw & Company. At D.E. Shaw, Jeff quickly rose through the ranks and became one of the youngest vice presidents. The firm used computers and data to make investment decisions. Working there taught Jeff both technology and business practices. In the early 1990s, Jeff noticed the rapid growth of the Internet. He read reports showing that Internet usage was growing at a huge rate. This growth inspired him. He made a list of possible products that could be sold online and chose books because of their large number and easy shipping. Books were a safe first category for an online store. There were millions of titles and a clear demand. In 1994 Jeff left his secure job, moved to Seattle, and started building an online bookstore. He wrote the first business plan and worked with a small team. The company started in a garage, like many famous startups. Amazon.com launched in 1995. The early days required long hours and hard work, packing books, printing labels, and sending orders. Customers across the United States and many countries bought books from Amazon in the first months. Jeff established a culture at Amazon based on customer obsession, high standards, and long-term thinking. He argued that focusing on customers would create lasting success. He was willing to sacrifice short-term profit to build infrastructure and capabilities that would pay off later. This strategy was risky during periods when investors expected quick returns. But over time the investments helped Amazon grow into a much larger company. Amazon expanded from books to many products and services. The company introduced features that changed online retail, customer reviews, personalized recommendations, one-click purchasing, and fast shipping. Amazon also began to host third-party sellers on its platform, greatly increasing the variety of products available. These moves helped Amazon become a dominant online marketplace. Amazon faced major challenges, including the dot-com crash of the late 1990s and early 2000s. Many internet companies failed, and critics questioned Amazon's financial model. Jeff continued to invest in technology and logistics. The company built fulfillment centers, invested in software and automation, and expanded internationally. It also developed Amazon Web Services, AWS, which became a major source of profit and a foundational platform for many online businesses. Several of Amazon's innovations had broad effects across industries. AWS provided scalable computing services to businesses and startups, changing how companies access computing power. The Kindle e-reader changed book publishing and reading habits. Amazon Prime created customer loyalty through a subscription model that combined fast shipping with access to video and music services. Smart devices with Alexa brought voice control into many homes, showing Amazon's interest in consumer electronics. Jeff's leadership style emphasized experimentation, high standards, and measurable goals. He introduced management ideas that pushed teams to deliver results quickly. However, this culture drew criticism. Reports from some employees and media outlets raised concerns about working conditions, especially in warehouses where productivity metrics were strict. Labor activists and some politicians questioned Amazon's approach to workers and wages. Jeff and Amazon responded with investments in safety, wage increases in some regions, and training programs. But debates continued. Jeff also pursued a personal dream, space exploration. In 2000 he founded Blue Origin, a company focused on reusable rockets and lower-cost access to space. Blue Origin's long-term goal is to help build infrastructure so more people can live and work beyond Earth. The company conducted tests, built rockets, and later flew passengers on suborbital missions. Jeff himself flew on a Blue Origin flight in 2021. A symbolic moment for his lifelong interest in space. Jeff married Mackenzie in 1993, and they had 4 children. Mackenzie stood by Jeff in Amazon's early years and later became a significant philanthropist after their divorce in 2019. Jeff has also focused on philanthropy. He launched the Bezos Earth Fund to address climate change and the Day One Fund to support homeless families and early education initiatives. Critics sometimes say his charitable giving came later than expected given his wealth. As Amazon grew, governments and regulators examined its market power. Questions about competition, taxes, and privacy arose. Some argued that Amazon's scale created unfair advantages and hurt smaller businesses. Others noted the consumer benefits, lower prices, convenience, and wide selection. The debate led to investigations and policy discussions about how to regulate large tech companies. Jeff's curiosity was both practical and imaginative. He read books about science and future technology. As a child he built small mechanical projects and joined school clubs about electronics. These activities taught him to experiment, fail, and try again, important habits for later success. At Princeton, Jeff combined technical studies with teamwork. He worked on projects that required planning, testing, and clear communication. Studying circuits and software helped him think in systems. The university years also connected him with peers who later became engineers, entrepreneurs, and collaborators. On Wall Street, Jeff learned professional skills, writing clear reports, managing projects under deadlines, and using data to make decisions. Working at D.E. Shaw taught him how a small team of smart people can build powerful systems. He also learned that technology could change traditional industries. In 1994, Jeff moved to Seattle and started Amazon in a simple office. The first months were full of hands-on work, designing the website and testing order systems. Early employees often worked long days, and the team focused on speed, accuracy, and service. The company treated every customer email as important, building a reputation for care. Amazon invested heavily in infrastructure, warehouses, software, data centers, and delivery networks. These investments were expensive but essential. The systems created a competitive advantage. Amazon could ship products quickly at lower cost than many rivals. Some of Amazon's products changed entire industries. AWS offered computing services to other companies, enabling new startups to grow. Kindle changed reading, and Prime created loyalty by combining fast shipping with entertainment. Alexa introduced voice control to many homes. Marketplace allowed third-party vendors to reach customers globally. Amazon faced scrutiny over working conditions in warehouses and the effects of its size on small businesses. Critics also questioned tax practices and market influence. Jeff and Amazon made some reforms: higher starting wages in certain regions, safety programs, and investments in employee training. Yet debates about labor and regulation continue. Jeff founded Blue Origin with a long-term vision: make access to space more affordable and sustainable. The company worked on reusable rockets and systems to lower the cost of launches. Jeff saw space as a place for industry and expansion that could benefit Earth by moving heavy industry off the planet. In later years, Jeff focused more on philanthropy. He launched funds to fight climate change and support education and homelessness programs. His public role included discussions on the responsibilities of wealthy individuals and how to use resources for social good. Jeff's career offers lessons: stay curious, invest in technology, think long-term, and focus on building systems that scale. He also shows the complexity of leadership, balancing innovation, profit, employee welfare, and public responsibility. Jeff Bezos's life and work changed many parts of modern life: retail, cloud computing, publishing, and space. For English learners, his story provides useful vocabulary and examples of business and technology topics. It is a story about imagination, deliberate choices, and the effort required to turn ideas into lasting institutions. As Amazon grew, governments, competitors, and the public watched closely. Policymakers asked whether very large technology companies needed new rules. Questions included how platforms treated sellers, how personal data is used, and how taxes are collected across borders. Amazon engaged in public discussions and worked with regulators to explain its position. These debates shaped new laws and ongoing investigations in several countries. Amazon launched many experimental projects that did not all succeed. Some products were quietly closed after testing, others never reached wide audiences. Jeff encouraged teams to learn from these steps: rapid testing, honest measurement, and clear decisions about when to scale or stop. This experimental mindset allowed the company to try bold ideas without fear of occasional failure. Amazon's marketplace offered new opportunities for entrepreneurs around the world, allowing small sellers to reach global customers. At the same time, competition from a giant platform posed challenges. Smaller shops sometimes struggled to match pricing or visibility. Policy discussions focused on ensuring fair competition and transparency between platforms and sellers. Looking forward, Amazon and Blue Origin continued to develop. Amazon invests in robotics, artificial intelligence, and logistics. Blue Origin works on larger rockets and orbital systems. The combination of commerce, cloud computing, and space exploration shows a pattern: an interest in building physical and digital infrastructure that supports many industries. For English learners, Jeff Bezos's story includes useful themes and vocabulary: entrepreneurship, innovation, long-term planning, logistics, cloud computing, and philanthropy. Reading and listening to this story can improve comprehension of business English and provide examples of clear, factual narration. Jeff Bezos's life is a study in ambition and complexity. He demonstrates how focused work, technology, and willingness to take informed risks can transform industries. Yet his story also invites questions about social responsibility, regulation, and the role of powerful corporations in modern society. By studying his life carefully, learners can gain both language skills and insights into contemporary business and technology. Jeff often emphasizes the value of reading widely and making time for thinking. He described how important it is to be patient, to gather information, and to make high-quality decisions. These habits, reading, testing assumptions, and staying focused on long-term goals, remain central to his advice for leaders and learners. Jeff's story shows that careful planning, a willingness to work hard, and the ability to adapt are essential. For young entrepreneurs, he suggested starting small, listening to customers, and reinvesting profits into building reliable systems. Closing thought: this biography is meant to teach simple English and business ideas. Study vocabulary, listen to the text aloud, and pause to summarize each paragraph in your own words.